Please subscribe to Bear Nerd Fund. Smash the like button.
Hail to all, where we do not kneel. Hail to all. Hail to all. Now come on, Hollywood. Stop smelling your own farts. You might get mistaken for arse sniffers. Remember, when you go woke, you go broke. Hail to the Fandom Menace. Hail to the Fandom Menace. Well, we're going to be going over some things today. I found a couple websites, and Get Woke, Go Broke, Keep Identity Politics Out of Entertainment. This was posted on April 27, 2019 in Opinion by John Lee. We're going to be going over stuff like this. Also, we're going to be going over the influence that far-left intersectional political ideology has on entertainment. Basically, they're having a hard time running as media businesses because, guess what? They're going out of business. So, basically, literally, they're going broke because they went woke. And a lot of these media companies have been doing a lot of gaslighting. So, intersectionalism, gaslighting, far left influencing media companies. So over here, we got Go Woke, Go Broke. OneAngryGamer.net. And basically, here's some of the movies. I'm not familiar with a lot of the games. We'll just go over the movies. A Wrinkle in Time. That was definitely woke. Ghostbusters. I don't really remember Luke Cage being woke. Of course, I only watched the first 6 or 7 episodes. I'm going to have to go through that again and check that out. Men in Black International. I just watched that the other day. And I thought it was a really kick-ass movie, except for the little things that kept popping up here and there that were definitely very woke, kind of made you cringe. And it was okay. It was a decent movie. But anything that it had going for, the wokeness ruined it. Completely ruined it. Midnight Texas, I haven't checked that out yet. Miss America Pageant, haven't seen that. Now Apocalypse, haven't seen that. Robin Hood 2018, I seen the movie, but I guess I'm gonna have to watch it a little closer because I have it on Vudu. I think maybe I better watch that a little closer. Star Wars The Last Jedi. And as a result, Solo, Star Wars story, definitely went broke. Sense8. I'm not familiar with that. The Dark Tower. Is that the movie with Matthew McConaughey? That movie was okay. I'm going to have to go through that movie again and check that out. The Punisher. Yeah, there's not... which Punisher are they talking about? Because there was 2 different Netflix Punisher series that was out there. The most latest one was related to the Flash, Crisis on Earth, all those crossovers. I remember that. X-Men Dark Phoenix. Oh, that was big time woke. Bunch of journalists that got woke went broke. Babe.net. Boy Scouts went woke. So these are a list of... I would behoove you to come through here and check this list out. And there's links to all this stuff. where they went broke. Let's see. Favorite on the list of the internet. I hope this expand more and more. First Man. Maybe. So let's go over here. This is the meat and potatoes right here. Social war of identities. In any war, the effects spill over into the very fabric of public life, whether it is via propaganda, pressuring the citizenry into believing the benevolence of the reason for the war. In its effect on the economics, and it even affects the thinking of the very people. The culture war, it could probably be called that. We are in is no different. The scope is just larger, more interconnected. We are experiencing the radical left push their ideological propaganda. It affects our lives discriminately through books, movies, games, education, and more. Will entertainment become entertainment again? I think we want entertainment to be entertainment again, and not a platform for propaganda, signifying and changing characters for the sake of being diverse. Because in most cases, that doesn't mean they're writing a good story. Left pushes identity politics, academia, the internet, and every facet of media is directly affected by the left. They seem to have a stranglehold on how the general public gets information. They are in the fabric of the education system, politicizing everything from art, architecture, and science. Yeah, you could take Evergreen State College as a perfect example of that. There seems to be how the left is affecting the very discourse of the general public, and it is seeping in on a generational scale. I could actually see that because I've watched it. I've watched Evergreen State College go from being a great school to being very politically pandering, far left. And they're doing things that doesn't seem like an educated person would do. Perfect example, their biology and science department used to be the best in the state. Well, those that headed the biology department are no longer there because of it. The Larson effect. A current figurehead sweeping conversational topics is Captain Marvel herself. Brie Larson, this blonde-headed Oscar-winning, completely took feminism and racism to a degree that one can only cringe at. She claims to not care what a 40-year-old white dudes think of her movies because they were not made for them. I mean, come on. If you have to make a statement like this, you're biased. Doesn't matter how you come across, you're biased. On the other hand, in general, limiting your audience may not be a good thing. Ask those put in the infamous deplorables basket. Apparently, Shokan wants to make Outworld great again. Plus, Disney Marvel Studios' parent company continually padded the movie according to reports, making Brie Larson a protected citizen. Oh man, they protected that celebrity like you wouldn't believe. Netflix notoriously went after a reviewer who made some benign criticism of her movie, The Unicorn Store, which I hear completely badly written story. You can follow that story here. See? Here. Much of the Avengers cast cannot stand Larson's hubris. It is seen in broad daylight, which poses some internal problems for Marvel Studios. You can see this displayed here. Let's open that just for giggles and see what that is.
Bree, what was it like joining this group, this universe?
I love that. Just go to the next one.
Yeah, we all know about that one. Identity politics enters the Star Wars franchise once... Did I lose my place? It is quite comedic that a proposed symbol of today's feminism is receiving such backhanded disdain. This comes from some of the prominent figures in our culture about the Marvel Comic Universe franchise. The final installment of Phase 4 closes with the Avengers Endgame, released this weekend, April 26, 2019. Now, Avengers Endgame, I think the movie, I think it could have been better. There's a lot of us that are thinking that it probably could have been better without the woke moments that it had. Overall, I thought the movie was good, but it could have been better. Politics invade a galaxy far, far away. And this is what influenced me to become a YouTuber. I was already on the fence when The Last Jedi happened. Identity politics enters the Star Wars franchise. Once an iconic collection of lore, stories, shows, toys, and movies. The franchise shaped multiple generations, first appearing in theaters in the 1970s. Well, I believe it was 1977, I think. Well, I was a kid, and we went to see Star Wars. I lived in Gary, Indiana, and right there, Miller, that's part of Gary. General Cinema 1 and 2, it don't exist no more. It's gone. They tore that down, and they basically gutted the building. And I want to say 1995, 96. Because the last movie I went to at that place was probably in 92, maybe 91, or 89. I think more like 89. George Lucas introduced all of us to Luke Skywalker. He was a young boy, destined to become a hero, facing trials and tribulations from living on a desert planet, to donning a black uniform and wielding a lightsaber. We followed his life to become the storied Jedi Knight that George Lucas dreamed up. Episode 4 through 6 showed us a galaxy far, far away. Fast forward to the early 2000s era, that started it all with Anakin Skywalker, who grew up to train, love, lose, and become the ultimate evil. He was the scourge of that far, far away galaxy. We were bombarded with video games, cartoon series, books, and compendiums trying this beloved universe together. Tying. Nearly a decade passed before the galaxy of childhood memories was visited again. In 2016, we were all reawakened to the Force. In an age where identity politics invade our everyday lives, the narrative got into the galaxy, too. Not faring as well as the box office with the original Star Wars, The Last Jedi, Rogue One, the movie in between Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and Episode 4, A New Hope, as well as Solo Star Wars Tale. Many conclude the lackluster results stem from two items. Mary Sue concepts, and Rian Johnson's directorial debacle. Some feel these items completely ruin the movie, subverting everything for subversion's sake. Oh, and the rumor is they planned it from the beginning. Rumor. But it's starting to look like the rumor's true. I mean, you just look how they treated the OG characters in The Force Awakens. Look how they treated the OG characters in The Last Jedi. So, this debacle, some of these filled items completely ruined the movie. I feel the same way. It was totally subversive for me. Politics enter video games. See, now Gamergate, that's not a lot of something that I know about. That's not a, the link of this article will be in there. It's not something that I know a lot about. Some refuse to bow to SJWs. Some companies capitulate, others do not. In the case of Nintendo, their latest installed Super Smash Bros. Features a stage creator option to the game. In this story, Nintendo found where the creator made a stage placing the transgender flag in the background. Nintendo deleted the stage and suspended the account. The trans community revolted. Nintendo's reason was that it was too political. You can read about it here. Apparently that article is on polygon.com, right here. Many are praising the video game company as they continue to shout out, "Keep your politics out of my games." Well, I can say that what fans want is keep your frickin' politics out of our movies, out of our TV shows. Of course, unless it's a political thriller about something that happened in history or the past, then that's different. That's a political thriller. Espionage, stuff like that, spies, presidencies, foreign leaders, things like that in movies. You know, you expect that. You expect something like that to be in a spy movie. But when it comes to divisive politics, about gender, about what characters are supposed to be, and messing with OG characters, you shouldn't do that. Write new ones. They could have made a Miss Marvel movie about Miss Marvel. She was black in the comic book. They could have made that, but they didn't. They decided to go with a white Captain Marvel female. I would have much rather have seen Miss Marvel movie, honestly. And if you want to know about the comics, Young Rippet or Nerdrotic. Young Rippet, he knows them comics back and forth. Nerdrotic used to own a comic book store. So, those two are very knowledgeable about comic books. Get woke, go broke. After a number crunching, it appears going woke makes you go broke. Battlefield 5 game sales tanked. People are skeptical about Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. Because this is what a lot of people... They put The Rise of Skywalker in the title of their movie. That's coming out this December. Well, guess what? If there isn't an actual Skywalker rising, then this movie's going to be a failure from the beginning. If Luke Skywalker isn't alive in this Star Wars movie, nobody's going to care. People don't care now because of all the intersectionalism politics and identity politics going on in these movies. For example, they did such an injustice to the actress who played Rose Tico. They could have wrote her as a kick-ass character. They could have gave her kick-ass clothing to wear. They could have gave her a kick-ass blaster. They could have made her kick-ass, but they didn't. You know, they had chances, many chances, but they decided to go woke and write a bad character. I got no problems with the actress that played Rose Tico. Just write the characters the way they should be written. Because these are fictional worlds where our politics in the real world do not exist. So, in the fictional worlds, they shouldn't be there. Signifying, pointing things out in a pandering kind of way when it comes to ideology shouldn't happen. We should have good written stories. I'd settle for good. I would much prefer awesome, but a good written story would be good. A good told story. We want good stories. Disney continues to pad the sales numbers of Larson's Captain Marvel. This is causing conflict with the Endgame release. Some report Disney is not allowing theaters to drop Captain Marvel from showing to force more ticket sales. And it's absolutely true. I've heard people talk about it. I've heard people I know that talked about it. And the other YouTubers and other access media has also talked about it, and they're starting to turn the page of reality and starting to look at things how they really are. And they're starting to see, like the title says, go woke, go broke. And it seems that the mantra is clear. Actors should not be political pundits and stick to acting. Movies, music, video games should focus on entertainment. The general public all seem to say one thing: stay in your lane. Couldn't agree more. So, this is written by John Lee. And being it was April when he wrote this, pretty good farsight. Because now, I seen a video by Tim Pool, and he was talking about some media companies are actually steering away from the politics. You know, if you're a reporter in entertainment news, a lot of these places, because of their left-leaning ideology, they're going broke. Because people aren't going to their websites, and if it's an actual newspaper, people aren't buying their newspapers because people don't want to read about politics of any kind. Granted, newspapers are going to have some politics stories in there and all that, but you get what I'm saying. We don't want our movies turned into propaganda. Plain and simple. I don't care whether it's left or right. I just don't want to see it in movies. So, get woke, go broke. Let's see what they have to say. I am unfamiliar with the Black Panther comic. It's not something that I read. I knew about it. I read a few here and there, but it's been so long. Yeah, Chuck Wendig, go woke, went broke. Yeah, this is just a list. Gawker. A lot of these places are going broke. Toxicity, man, toxicity. You would think the cream of the crop would rise to the top, but it's the toxic stuff that rose to the top, and they're going out of business. These access entertainment media places, or places like Gawker, that cover entertainment news, they're going broke. They're disappearing. So, hail to the Phantom Menace. Hail to all, where we do not kneel. Hail to all. Now come on, Hollywood. Stop smelling your own farts. You might get mistaken for arse sniffers. Remember, when you go woke, you go broke.
Please subscribe to Bear Nerd Fun. Smash the like button. Goodbye.
Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Say hello.
Hello.
Say nerd fun. Nerd fun. Nerd fun. Say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Hail to the Fandom Menace.